Hey guys, welcome back to Building Behind the Scenes. We are continuing on with our Halloween movie builds, so let's get right into it and see who we have left for today. The movies we have in today's build are Hocus Pocus, Monster House, Corpse Bride, Hotel Transylvania, Paranorman, Gremlins, Poltergeist, The Craft, and Wallace and Gromit: The Curse of the Were-Rabbit. So my game crashed. I also didn't save anything, so the house currently looks like this. I just put in the windows from looking at the recovered footage. I'm going to continue on with the build. I'm not going to reroll. This was already determined as Hocus Pocus, so that's what I'm going to go ahead and continue on to. I don't know why, but I like this. I really like this bat wallpaper. Ooh, in this color? Okay, yeah, I like that. Because it goes along with when Billy cuts open his mouth and the moths pop out. And in that scene, they're all real life moths. The way they did that was they made like a little latex pouch attached to dentures for Doug Jones' mouth, who is the actor who played Billy, who's a pretty big character actor. So he does a lot of heavy prosthetic work. And so they would put the dentures in with the little latex pouch, and there was a little hole in the back of it near his throat so he could puff air through it when the time needed. And then they would fill the little pouch. There would be a moth handler, and they would put them in with tweezers, and then a representative from the Humane Society to ensure that the moths were being treated humanely. And then once everything was loaded up and they closed his mouth, and then he cut it open, and then he breathed through the hole, which kind of flung all of the dirt. They also put it in the pouch and the moths with it. Have the book out? Or should it be this one, like in the case? No, on the stand, because I'm pretty sure it's in like the glass stand. I know it's not like an actual like vacuum, but possibly that for when Mary rides on her vacuum instead of her broom because it gets stolen. The movie takes place Halloween of 1993, and the movie says that you can only summon the Sanderson sisters on Halloween on a full moon. However, there hadn't been a full moon since 1974, and this year, 2020, is the first year since then that there is a full moon on Halloween. After this year, would anybody really be surprised if someone said, oh hey, yeah, the Sanderson sisters are back? A little spooter for when Sarah eats the spider. There he is, crunchy crunch. Next, I'm going to move on to this bedroom here. Monster house. Okay. Definitely do wood because the monster house is made of fully wood. Honestly, it kind of looks like eyes right here because it kind of has like those lines, almost like a face-ish sort of a way. Put like this running carpet down in pink, like her tongue. She like whips out her carpet tongue. And speaking of she, the house is female because of the spirit of Mr. Nevercracker's wife taking over the house. And in the movie, they even joke about it before it's known. When Jenny mentions the house's uvula being like the little hanging light, so which I am going to add, by the way. And Chowder saying, oh, so it's a girl's house because he misheard the word uvula.
Not me.
Uvula. Sorry. Oh my god. Maybe put like the measuring tape out and like a nail because he's always like repairing his house. In the tricycle scene in the beginning is a nod to The Shining when he's riding his tricycle down the hallway. I think that is it for Monster House. I know it's not blatantly obvious, but there are like the tongue and like fixing the house. Let's go ahead and do this bedroom over here, probably the kids' bedroom. We have Paranorman. I know I already used one ghost wallpaper, but we have this other one. Paranorman was the first stop motion movie to utilize a 3D printer for the replacement faces of their puppets, using over 31,000 faces for the whole movie, which I'm sure saved them so much time to be able to 3D print them instead of having to make all new pieces. I want something spiky in here to kind of represent his hair. And with Norman's hair, there are 270 individual spikes in his hair that are primarily made of goat hair. They're stuck together with many different kinds of glue, including hot glue, super glue, Prozade, which is a very strong adhesive from makeup, and medical adhesive as well, along with thread and fabric and wire to sort of give the hair structure and movement and be able to like have the hair blowing in the wind. And then possibly a wizard's starter kit. I don't know, I just feel like that'd be something that Norman would want after his experience. All right. That is done. So let's go ahead and move into this bathroom over here. The craft. Alright, so I'm going to make everything pretty dark. Now to make sure that the depiction of Wicca was as close to real life as possible, filmmakers hired a member of one of the largest Wiccan religious organizations of the US, the Covenant of the Goddess, as a consultant to make sure that everything that they were doing was proper. Well, at least like would advise her about it and make sure that nothing was like too off the wall or too oddly depicted. And in the scenes toward the finale, there were over 2,000 snakes that were used. All of the maggots, rodents, and cockroaches were real. The house was a sealed set, and say any cockroaches did manage to get out, they were bred specifically for the film to make sure that they couldn't reproduce. Alright, so that is that bathroom. I'm actually go ahead and head up here. So Corpse Bride is going into this room. Now I didn't go into this room knowing what it was, so because it's Corpse Bride, I'm going to go ahead and make it like an entertainment space. Corpse Bride and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory were both in production at the same time. I'm sure this happens so many times with movies and everything, but it caused problems because a lot of the people who were filming Charlie and the Chocolate Factory were also in Corpse Bride. A lot of the voice actors and actors who were in both films, such as Johnny Depp, Helena Bonham Carter, would go and shoot Charlie and the Chocolate Factory in the day and then go and film lines for Corpse Bride at night. And then the same with anyone else who was working on both films, like Danny Elfman, who composed both of them. Ooh, of course you have to put a piano, of course. Like, there's no way you can get away with doing a Corpse Bride and not having a piano. Facial movements were typically created using replaceable faces, like I had mentioned in Paranorman. However, in Corpse Bride, they took a different approach because there was a new technology that relied on sophisticated puppet heads filled with gears, kind of like a Swiss watch. And they used minuscule keys to change the animations of the face, either in the back of the head or the ear. And with this, they're able to create more expressive and large expressions on their face because they had more movement, because they weren't just different parts. Put like a little bar area because I love that scene with that little song number, which again Danny Elfman did voice. I go on green, but I wish green had the darker colored wood because I want to incorporate it for the little whammy guy. I suppose I could do red for the Black Widow. This room is done, so let's go ahead and move back downstairs. Go ahead and do this little room here. Gremlins. Okay, so I actually am going to go ahead and make this a second bathroom because it is gremlins. And so if they go in this room, we're gonna have uh-ohs. There obviously aren't little gremlins in the game. However, I could add little kids' toys to make it look like the little gremlins. The original story of Gremlins was also much darker. Gremlins ate Billy's dog and then decapitated his mom and threw her head down the stairs. But they obviously did not add that into the final movie because they did want to keep it at a PG rating because at the time PG-13 didn't exist. I'm also going to put a little mouse trap in this corner because Chris Columbus, who wrote the script for Gremlins, was originally inspired by the mice in his apartment because during the day they just sound like little mice, you know, like kind of they weren't out as much because they're nocturnal, and at night in the dark you could hear them scratching and like running around, and it was like pretty creepy and disturbing to him. So that's where that inspired the idea of him kind of creating what's lurking in the dark. Alright, so let's go ahead and see what's going to be in this leading room going up. Wallace and Gromit, the Curse of the Were-Rabbit. Gromit was originally going to be a cat. However, they quickly realized that it's much easier to sculpt dogs than cats, so they switched him over to a dog. Maybe it could be like a little garden because we already have the windows for it. So if I put like some gardening seeds and some like little pots And then put the one with the carrot on it. Since he is a were-rabbit, he wants plenty of carrots. I'm gonna put all the produce out, all scattered everywhere like it's his little hoard. Because the greenhouse features 100 different types of trees and plants, and hundreds of different types of vegetables and produce in general. And the were-rabbit actually had a mechanism inside so that animators didn't have to touch him as much to create as many fingerprints and like compress the fur down as they normally would with claymation. Alright, so we are in our final 2 rooms, so let's go ahead and see who gets what room. First, I'm going to start with the one leading up from Wallace and Gromit's room. Poltergeist is in this room, and then Hotel Transylvania is in this room over here. So this is definitely going to be like a TV room. It's a whole bunch of electronic energy. It's like a little sitting room. And then I'm going to put like regular chairs in here for the scene where all the chairs get stacked. And then in that scene where the chairs are normal and then Diane turns her back and the chairs get stacked, it is all filmed in one shot. Crew members quickly ran into the room when she turned her back and replaced the out chairs with chairs that were pre-stacked and held together. And so that's how they were able to film it in one go. And Poltergeist is rated PG. However, in the beginning, the MPAA, the Motion Picture Association, originally wanted it to be rated R. However, Spielberg had told them and discussed it with them, saying that he doesn't make R-rated movies, and he was able to get it changed to a PG rating. And then Poltergeist, like Gremlins, was made at a time where PG-13 wasn't a thing. The PG-13 rating didn't come out until 1984, and both movies had previously come out before then. Blue for like some static electricity feelings. I don't like this rug anymore. I kind of like this one, so it's like all wavy, like kind of like a signally kind of a wavy. Alright, so there's Poltergeist, and then let's move over here into Hotel Transylvania. Make this like a 3rd bedroom, but for vampires. Ooh, we need big old curtains if this is gonna be a vampiric bedroom. Dresser maybe? So he can pick out one of his many different capes. In Hotel Transylvania 2, when Dracula's dad Vlad is introduced, they originally wanted him to live in a typical vampire castle. However, they thought it would be better if it was really shown how secluded he was, so they had moved him into a cave instead. Do some suitcases, since he does run a hotel after all. And then he's a family man, so let's put it with some pictures of his family. Alright, and that is it for the house. Alright, so let me go ahead and give you guys the tour now that I can, since everything is rebuilt from being deleted. And for the outside of the house, we have Beetlejuice with the pinstripes, the red for Lydia's wedding dress, and Beetlejuice's mossy accents. Over in the yard, we have Little Shop of Horrors and a cow plant for Audrey 2 and all of the victims, and also a little greenhouse here for all of the planting needs. In the front room, we have It's a Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown with little ghost lights for how all the kids were dressed as trick-or-treaters, candy for them, and then also rocks for Charlie Brown and little pumpkins in the corner for the Great Pumpkin. And in the living room, we have Frankenweenie represented by all of the black and white, and then we even have a little dog statue over here for Sparky himself. And then these sketch drawings over here to represent that sort of sketchy sort of look that was represented in the movie. Then moving along throughout the house, in the office we have the witches, and it is taking a look based on the hotel that they were holding the conference in, alongside the mouse traps and everything with the witches potion. And then over in the bathroom we have Halloween Town, so we have all of the pumpkins and all the Halloween colors, along with the hair dryer for the hair salon and a torch next to it so it blows flames. And then the kitchen over here is for Casper the Friendly Ghost. We have ghosts on the wall and also all the food on the floor that they drop, since they do like to eat, however they cannot eat, so it just falls through them. And then we have Adam's Family dining room along with Thing on the table and Uncle Knick-Knack on the wall. In the upstairs hallway, we have Hocus Pocus with the book on display, Winifred's Cauldron, and then the broom and vacuum that they ride. To the left, in this bathroom over here, we have the gremlins represented by these little teddy bears over here. And then this room over here is Monster House. So kind of like two little window eyeballs, a rug tongue, construction tools to keep everything up and running, and the uvula. Through the bathroom, we have Wallace and Gromit, Curse of the Were-Rabbit. And so we have all of his pillagings through the garden and him eating his way through the town, essentially. Then above that, we have Poltergeist with all of the electronics in the room and also the stacked chairs. And then next to that, we have Hotel Transylvania. So it is Dracula's bed as a coffin, all of his family portraits, and then his guards over here. And on the other side of the house, we have Paranorman's bedroom, the wallpaper for all the ghosts he sees, and the cactus for his spiky hair, and then the craft bathroom with all of his dark colors and candles and jars representing all of the Wiccan they need in order to create their spells. Finally, we have the Corpse Bride entertainment space, fully equipped with bar and piano. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys liked the house. Let me know what your favorite room was, and if you have any ideas for any more of these videos, I would love to hear them and possibly even do them. Let me know, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on your notifications so you know when I do another one of these types of builds, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!